Tsuyoshi Giki, right? And that's the start of it all. The Canadian Black Belt Hall of Fame started 7 years ago. The illustrious Vic Granick was one of the founders. Annette was involved. Tasha was involved in it. And I had an idea. I had a dream, right? To give it a better phrase than that. And the idea, what happened is I went to Black Belt Magazine in LA, and I said, you know, there's a bunch of Canadians that should be in the Black Belt Hall of Fame, Black Belt Magazine Hall of Fame. And they said, yeah. I said, well, how come there isn't anybody in the Canadian Black Belt? No, Canadians. Well, Michael Bernardo is. I said, yeah, but what about guys like Masami Soroka, right? Or Lawrence Nakamura? And they said, no, we kind of just put Americans in. And right then and there I said, you know what? Canada and Canadian martial artists need to be recognized. These belong to Conway's Women's Directors Ambassadors. So I said, okay. Right then and there I made up my mind that I said it's time for us to do something in Canada. Because I can tell you something that I do know. Canada really and truly does have as good a martial artist as any country in the world. We're only 32 or 33 million people. US is 300. So for every one person we have that should be in a Hall of Fame, they should have 10. There's that many good quality martial artists in Canada. Unfortunately, we Canadians take the back road, take the back seat. We say, oh, let's let the Americans go first. You know, they're bigger. That's one of the weaknesses of Canada, or one of the strengths of Canada. We're too polite. We're too let everybody else push us around until the time comes when Canadians won't be pushed around, and then things like Dieppe happened during World War II, where 1,500 Canadians were killed in like 12 hours. And they stood strong and took down the Germans. That's the kind of people Canadians are. And we as Canadians need to stand up, and we need to pound our chests a little bit more, especially in the martial arts world. And no, Lily, I'm not running for office. But it's time for Canadians to be recognized. So I came up with this idea, and I knew that my name wasn't quite big enough to carry it through, so I called up my friend Wally Sloten. And I said, Wally, I have an idea. And he said, what? And I told him what the idea is. He says, yeah, you're right. Let's do it. So we did the first 2 years at Vic's tournament, and we got the top level guys involved. I mean, from Park Jung-soo to Sensei Soroka to Frank Hatashi to Paul Chan, all the best of Canadian martial artists were inducted the first year, the top ones. And now, honestly, I get threatened by people because I won't allow them to get into the Hall of Fame. I get people calling me names and say, you bastard, why won't you induct me? I need to be inducted. I said, I'm sorry, you're just not ready yet. It has to come with age, and it has to come with what you've done for you to be in the Canadian Black Belt Hall of Fame. Otherwise, it becomes like in the States, the $125 rubber chicken dinner, slap on the back, plaque that says you're the greatest, now sit down, right? And that's what happens in the States. I'm sure a lot of you instructors get letters from these Hall of Fame saying, join up, we want you in our Hall of Fame. It means nothing. It means nothing. So my goal was to make this one something. And now, like I said, this year we're going to have 700 people sit down for dinner. We're going to have another 1,000 people coming for a martial arts show.